There we go. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. This is Ray Poteet, founder of Living Wealth. And what I'm going to share with you a couple of real life examples of stealing the peas or not stealing the peas is the example that Nelson Nash uses in his book, Becoming Your Own Banker. And that hopefully that's why you're here today. But I'm going to give you a little background information and then actually use two examples of my own life that have taken place and that we're using that in. But the whole concept of don't steal the peas is you have a can of peas, they cost 57 cents, take them to the front of the store, they charge you 60 cents. So the profit equals 3 cents. Basically, there's 3 cents profit on this can of peas. And I have to sell 20 cans to break even or be in a profit motive. So the whole concept is if I go and I steal this can of peas, I've got to sell 20 cans before I'm even at that point. And the whole point of this, and I'm going to point that out, is that we have a tendency, I'm going to make a straight line, is to save money and then go spend it. Save money and then go spend it. Save money and then go spend it. And I don't know about you, but this is true of me. I have stolen my savings many times over my life. And until 2001, when I read Nelson's book, I had no intentions of ever paying it back. Now, since then, I do pay it back. I borrow from myself all the time and pay it back. So I just wanted to relate that. Stealing the peas is paying yourself back when you borrow from yourself. Now, I'm going to show an example of how you can, what if I own a grocery store, costs 57 cents. I'm going to shop at my own grocery store. When I go to the front desk, instead of spending 60 cents, I pay 62 cents. Well, what happens to my profit? Well, before that, the profit was 3 cents. Now it's 5 cents. What people don't realize is I increased my profit 67%. People say, well, how'd you do that? You only got 2 pennies more. Well, 2 pennies divided by the 3 cents profit previously is a 67% increase. Now, when you can increase your profit with pennies or small amounts of money back to yourself, it becomes quite substantial. And that's what we're going to show you today, is why you don't want to steal the peas. Now, the next thing before we go to that, I want to bring up is this little PowerPoint. I think you've all seen it before. If you haven't, this will be your first time, but this is just a penny a day, double over 31 days. And it comes out to be $10 million. Now, here's the documentation of that, starting out with 1 penny right here and ending up with $10 million right here. Now, this is the way the uninterrupted compounding can work. But one of the examples we want you to see is, what if I needed that 20,000, almost 21,000 right here? And for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to call it 21,000. And then I started over, I would have gotten 21,000 plus $2.56. This is actually about $20,974, not 10 million. But let's assume, let's not assume, let's realize that I could have borrowed this 21,000 from the account, let it continue to compound, and I would have $10 million. Now, if I could have done that, which we can with our infinite banking concept, I'm going to prove that to you. And then minus the 20,274, 974, and just call it $21,000. I'd have had $10,716,000 profit. What you can call that is your lost opportunity cost. That's your LOC, lost opportunity cost, by not having the compounding. Now, I'm going to just share a couple of things with you. There's only 3 types. There it is. There. Okay, so now we'll go 3 types of people. We have the debtor, no saving, earns no interest, pays no interest, pays interest, borrows from the lender at your highest rate, and you have your potential earning power. And this is the example where I was saying you borrow the money and you pay it back. You borrow it, you pay it back. You borrow it, you pay it back. And that's where many of us are. I've been there. Now you have the saver. He earns interest, pays cash. That's what we've been told to do. Borrows from self, reducing your current collateral position and reset your compounding. That's what I showed you just previously. We reset and started over. So you save the money, then you spend it. You save the money, then you spend it. You end up in the same place, and that's where I was. I was paying cash for my cars and everything else and wondered why I wasn't getting ahead. It was this simple. Right here, I just save it and then I give it to everybody else. And this was basically, I was not stealing myself. I wasn't accumulating any profit. You don't see any numbers there going, so there was no accumulation going on. Now the next thing is being your own banker. Then there's the wealth creator, which I think we all want to be. You save, you compound, and you collateralize with your money your purchases. You borrow from the lender, who happens to be the insurance company, at negotiated rate. We know the rate way ahead of time, using your own money as collateral. So every time as you borrow, you end up at a higher point than where you started previously. So what I'm going to prove is we get back all our principal, all our interest. So we get our P&I back. And the question, if I get P&I back, how much did it cost? And I hope you see today that it won't cost you a dime. You can actually make money on this. So that's what I'm wanting you to see, and we're going to go into it in a real live example here that I'm going to share with you. And let's start. So we'll get that down, and we will do right here. This is a true example of my wife's car. Now, hopefully I can get that a bit bigger on the screen. You can see it, but I'm going to point some things out. I'm not trying to impress anybody here. I'm trying to be realistic. But we took a loan for $73,000 for my wife's car, and I agreed to pay $1,500 a month, or $18,000. It's right here, facts. $18,000 a year for 66 months, or I will pay in a total of $99,000. Everybody understand that? It's 18,000 times 5, which is 90,000. Another 6 payments of 1,500 is 9,000. That's how we get $99,000. So hopefully that's clear to everybody. Now, I used an insurance policy I had. It's a mature policy. I'm not trying to tell you it isn't, but it had $477,000 in it. I borrowed $73,000. I took it down, and all I did in this example was pay $18,000 during the time period. Okay, these are my payments on it. That's what we did. We paid $93,000. I took out 70. So my real cost was the $99,000, and because I borrowed 73, my real cost is $26,000. Okay, I want you to see that. And during that time period, I was paying my interest every year, which is on $73,000. We'll just get it, $73,000 times 4.76%. That's what I borrowed it at. I paid out of my pocket an additional, I think it's about $4,300 a year, but let's be exact, 73,000 times 4.76% is $3,474 divided by 12. I was paying $289.57 a month. $57. I have very good handwriting for 72-year-old, 73. Okay, there. That's what I paid per month. That times 12 equal $4,474 a year. So let's call it, for simplistic sake, $4,500 I paid additional interest into the program for 5.5 years. That equals $24,750. Let's add that to my my $99,000 here. Let's just get some clean paper. $99,000 plus $25,000 is $124,000. That's my out-of-pocket. Now, I paid myself additional interest, as we can see, but not really during this time, because I paid in 99, I only had to pay in 73, and I also paid the interest. So I paid myself $26,000 extra. But all I want to say is my total outlay was $124,000 minus $73,000. What I'm trying to show you is by not stealing the P's and paying yourself a little interest here, I had $51,600 is my true out-of-pocket cost. That's what I spent, and what I had in my policy during that period of time grew by $121,000. Now, my question is it okay not to steal the P's if you double your amount of money? This is my true cost. So if I had $121,000 minus $56,000, I made $55,000 above and beyond, and I didn't steal the P's. That's a real live example. That's the car my wife is currently driving. It's a done deal. We've already done it. So I didn't steal the P's, and I have that available. Now, the next one I want to bring up, and this is the one that's really, I learned a lot by this, but just going to tell you the facts. In 2009, one of the clients I worked with said, "Ray, we ought to invest some money in this deal." It was a great investment, supposedly. It's going to pay us 18% on $100,000. We got one payment on it, and it went south. I mean, we found out we were in one of the biggest fraud schemes. It wasn't as bad, but the guy got caught. He's in jail now, but I was out $100,000. And what I want you to realize is that with me being out $100,000, I said I borrowed it from my policy, so I paid interest on this of $4,760 a year. That's the 4.76%. I paid it every year. And the policy, you can see, is continuing to grow. Now, in 2009, so now it's 2020, but I paid off a loan. How I did that was I saved my Social Security check over about the last 3 years, and I had the $100,000, paid it off. But what I want you to see is that the policy grew from 477 to 666. Okay. Now I paid in $47,000, 600 in the 10 years in interest. I paid in I put it back to 100, and it grew 188. So did I get all my principal and interest back? I got it. Now, most people, if they lost this $100,000, and I think it's important to note, I'm going to go through some numbers here to help you. The only way they can ever get that money back is go out and work again. Well, if I never put another penny into the policy and just paid the interest, what you can see is that in 2020, this year right here, my money is back. Okay, I got the $100,000 back. Okay, it was growing right here. It's growing 17,000 a year. If you add the 17,000 again to the 40, we're good. We got the money back in our account. Now, one of the things that an individual showed me, and I want to show you, is how this works. Even we are in the midst of a terrible, terrible market crash because of this COVID-19. But I want you to I'm just going to pick these 2 years right here. I'm going to pick 443. And I'm going to subtract it from 460. Just rounded to the nearest thousand. That's a $17,000 growth that year. Now, what I'm going to do is take 17,000 and divide it by 365 days. And that number is, a little math here, $46.58. So that, what I'm trying to share with you is my policy grew $46.58 every day between these 2 years, this year and this year. Now I'm going to take the last year down here and just show you that it's an increasing number, which it showed you with the penny a day, but we'll do it again. We're going to take 548 minus 531, it's 17,000 again. Well, this is almost 18,000, so I'm going to say it's $18,000 divided by 365. Now I grew $49.32 a day. So What I wanted to do is go back and just show you that the picture that we had here of it growing steadily upward every time period, each year, from here to here, it went up some. From here to here, it went up some. And I can go to sleep tonight and know tomorrow that my life insurance policies are going to be larger. I have that guarantee within the contract. And if I want to pay extra money, which I should have been doing through here and actually did, these numbers are even bigger because the profit grows exactly to me. So do I want to make a profit and recover on every one of my situations? Yes, I do. I want to, and we want to show you how to use your policy, whether you want to take a vacation, whether you want to take a education, pay for the education, buy a car, remodel your house, whatever you want to do, we want to show you that you can do that using the policies that Living Well, Nate, Holly, Heather, Dale has sold you, whoever it was, and how to use that so that you can become a wealth creator, not a debtor. And the way to do it is knowing how to use your policy just like I showed you, okay? And you can do that. Remember, you can go to our website, invite Ray, Nate, Holly, Dale, or Heather for a webinar. We will work with you individually on how to do this. That's what we're here for. The website is livingwealth.com, or you can call 785-393-2619. That's my cell number. I'll answer. We'll set up in a time for you to either work with me or one of these individuals. And thanks for listening to me. God bless. Have a great day.